Okay. Thank you so much for joining this session. And today we are going to see managing Microsoft 365 Copilot effectively. And this is part of Zero to EU webinar series that has been conducted by Microsoft 365 India user group. And myself, Vijay, I'm a senior technical architect and I got expertise with Microsoft 365, Copilot, generative AI, and also like Azure and AWS cloud. Okay, so before getting into the top presentation, just want to set some expectations and regarding this webinar series. So the target audiences for this one is like it includes almost everyone, starting from the developers, IT administrators, power users, business users, and architects and everyone, because we are covering the sessions from the getting started with the Microsoft 365 Copilot to administrator related things and how you can prepare your organization for Copilot, and also like all the customizations or implementations of agents and everything. Okay, and the end goal is to get you familiarized with Copilot for Microsoft 365 across all the areas, like as I mentioned, deployments, customizations, development, administration, and also the important thing around the security thing also, and also some of the best practices, right? So our expectations, so just have a detailed working knowledge on Microsoft 365 and the related services, and so that you can be successful in this particular learning journey. Just give me 1 minute. So how do we plan to run this webinar series? So we are running this for past few months. We have till now we have completed 5 sessions. This is the sixth session that we are having. And so each session is about like 45 minutes to 60 minutes totally, and we will be having a presentation for close to 45 minutes, and demo and presentation will be covered, and then we will have some time for the question and answers. And all these sessions are being recorded and it's been placed in the YouTube channel, so you can see over here. And all these sessions are being announced in our Microsoft 365 Power Platform and Cloud Security India Meetup UG group. Okay, so we are planning to have like close to like 15 to 18 sessions. Again, it can get extended always based on the new things or the new features that are keep coming. So you can always go to this particular user group and then you can see for the new sessions that we are having it. So just as a recap, till now we have completed these sessions, like we have completed 5 sessions. Like we started with the getting started with Copilot for Microsoft 365, where we covered various capabilities or the features available for the end users, like how you can make use of Copilot in different Microsoft 365 apps like Word, Excel, Teams, and then like a Loop or Whiteboard, wherever like we can make use of the Copilot, especially focused on the from the end user perspective. And then we add a session on the Copilot architecture, the key core components, and how it works. So we went through that. And then the next session was on preparing your organization for Microsoft 365 Copilot. So we had 2 sessions around that. The first session was covered on completely all the features or capabilities as part of the SharePoint Advanced Management, which is called as SAM, and like how you can generate various reports, like site owner review processing, and also like how you can handle the oversharing of contents. So all those things we covered on the core features and capabilities of SAM. And in the next session, we covered about the data security, privacy, and compliance, especially focused on the features that are available in Microsoft 360, Microsoft Purview, right? Like sensitivity labels or labeling the content, DLP policies, and then various other compliance related features, and also the DSPM, data security posture management, and so all those things we have covered in this prepare your organization for Microsoft 365 Copilot. Again, like you can always go and revisit all these sessions in the YouTube channel that I've shown. Okay, and the last session was on Microsoft 365 licensing and adoption. We have seen like how you can get ready, whom you need to assign licenses, how you can manage the licenses and everything, and also provided the resources, tools, and the quick overview about the adoption process as well as the strategy for that. Okay. So in today's session, we are going to cover like as an administrator, when you got Microsoft 365 Copilot license in your organization, as an administrator, how you can manage or configure the settings that are available to for the various Copilot scenarios in the admin center with the help of the Copilot control system. Okay, so that's what we are going to cover, and we'll also see what are the roles, different roles available, and like what would be the experience in the admin center based on the licenses, and also like how you can manage some of these scenarios, or like you can configure some of the settings that are available in the admin center. And also we'll also have a like a go through a topic called on the topic called a scheduled prompts. So how you can manage the scheduled prompts in the admin center, like how it works and all those things. And also like we'll touch base on the Microsoft 365 Copilot search, which has been recently released. So we'll discuss on that, how it is differing from, how it differs from the regular Microsoft search, and also like a Copilot's chat and all those things, and what are the settings available for Microsoft Teams. Okay, so here, like before getting started, again, like when we mentioned, like a Copilot control system, which I will be walking you through in the admin center. So as I mentioned earlier, the experience in the admin center, the Copilot experience in the admin center to manage the various Copilot scenarios depends on the license that you have. So if you have Microsoft 365 Copilot license, then you will be able to see you will be able to manage or configure some of the settings for some of the Copilot scenarios. In case if you don't have that Microsoft 365 Copilot license, then you will still see some of the settings that you can configure for the Microsoft Copilot, which is basically the consumer version of the Copilot thing. Okay, so that's how. And also like in the admin center, you'll also have shortcuts to the shortcuts to the some of the services where you can manage the Copilot scenarios or configuration related to the Copilot. For example, like you will have the shortcut to the Power Platform admin centers, Viva admin center, or Microsoft Teams admin center. The reason is some of the settings related to the Copilot for that particular service will be available in their respective admin centers. So that's why the shortcuts have been provided in the main admin center, where you can navigate to the respective admin centers and do the configuration part. Okay, and also like when you're talking about the role, so there are like different role requirements based on what you want to perform, what task that you want to perform, right? So if you are a global administrator or the AI administrator, of course, like you will be able to view and manage the all the settings or the configurations to the Copilot scenarios. And if you want to just view the settings, view the settings or configurations, then you can make use of the global reader. So the experience, the way you want to manage your task, everything depends on the license that you have within your organization, as well as depends on the role that you're logged into the admin center. So as I mentioned earlier, so this is the Copilot control system. Like I will go through the admin center and show this one. So this is I've put two screenshots. One is with Microsoft 365 Copilot license, and you can see there are different options available or settings available. Whereas without Microsoft 365 license, you will be only seeing the limited configurations of settings. That is mainly to manage the Microsoft Copilot, right? So with that, I'll just walk you through, I'll just navigate through the admin center and then we can go through it. So I'll go to the admin center. So I've just logged in as a global administrator. So I'm able to see all the settings, and also I have the Microsoft 365 Copilot license in this particular tenant. So that's why I'm able to see all these settings available. Okay, so if when I go to the Copilot, so I'll just go to the one by one, navigate through one by one, and also we'll see some of the settings and see how that needs to be configured and everything. So if you go here, like this is the Copilot control system, you'll have an overview section, health and discover. So we can see various health status, like health status over here and some of the updates over here. And also discover, you can see like a lot of resources and the contents that are required for the Copilot. But we'll focus on this overview section. So here you will be able to manage different things like adoption by app. Basically, you can learn more about the usage. So it will take you to the usage section, and also you can manage the licenses from this. So when you click on it, you will be seeing the assigned licenses and everything. So it takes us to the licensing page, and you can where you can manage the Copilot licenses. And when you go to the usage, so you will see all the reports related to Copilot. So you'll have the readiness reports, usage, and agents, which we have covered in detail in the previous one. When we spoke about the licensing and adoption, we went through all these reports that are available, or basically the usage reports that are available. So I'm not going to go into detail, but definitely like from this Copilot control system, you can navigate to this managing the licenses and the usage reports and everything. The next one, we can go to the agents. So this is a place where as an administrator, you can manage the configurations related to the agents from here. So you can see all the available agents, like again, like the external third-party agents and also the Microsoft related agents and everything. And also like this is the place where you will be able to upload your custom agents. So you can manage all the agents from this particular place. So it gives more details about the agents. So availability, who is the publisher, agent type, and also you have an option to deploy or block as an administrator. Okay. So again, like when we are going to the further deep dive sessions on the agents, while we are talking about extending the agents or customizing the agents, definitely we'll cover in detail how to do the deployment of the custom agents and everything. Right. So this is just a place where you can manage all the agents that are available from Microsoft, from third party, and or from external thing, and as well as the custom agents that you are going to develop and deploy it. So the next one is the connectors. So you will be able to connect to various data sources. So there are a lot of built-in connectors available over here. So these are the connectors which will help you to connect to the different data sources. For example, like if I want to connect to SharePoint 2016 on-premise, or if I want to connect to the Confluence or like a Salesforce, something like that, right? If you want to connect and get the data, like you want to access the data sources, then you can make use of the connectors, default connectors that are available. And also like there are like you can also have your custom connectors built, and so that will be all these connectors will be able to will be able to connect to different data sources, and that information will be used for while we are using the Microsoft search agents and everything, right? So when you click on the add connection, you can see there are a lot of default out of the box connectors available, like ServiceNow, Azure DevOps, Confluence, file shares, and everything. So you can make use of that. You can connect to what different data sources. So this is the place where as an admin, you can configure all the connectors and everything. So we'll go back. So I've just used one simple, I've created one simple connector using the CSV. So you can see over here, and also you have an option for the stage rolled out, right? So you can specify to whom we, to the specific list of you, if you want to roll out this particular connector only to the specific set of people, then you can have this option available. So limited audience deployment. Okay. So that's how like you can come here and manage all your connectors, like under configure and manage your connectors from here as an administrator. I'll go back to the presentation. So we have seen this one, how you can manage the license and usage from the overview section. And also like we have seen this managing the agents, and you can ask the ability to manage the connectors. So next one, let's talk about Microsoft 365 Copilot Search. What is Microsoft 365 Copilot Search, right? So it's basically an AI powered, like a unified, secured, unified search experience that helps the users to find the relevant information within your organization. Okay, so and this is available. Basically, this is available in your in all Microsoft 365 apps. It can be in a desktop, it can be in a web or mobile platform. Okay, so if you see, as I mentioned, it's a AI powered search experience. It provides you AI powered search experience, and also like you can see how it works is like it's a unified search across all your Microsoft 365 applications. It's just not a Microsoft 365 applications like SharePoint, like Teams, OneDrive, and other things, Outlook or something like that. Beyond that, it will also make use of the get the content from your other third-party data sources. We spoke about the connectors, right? So we have like we have a lot of connectors, built-in connectors, approximately 100 built-in connectors in the Microsoft catalog, and also like we have hundreds of connectors from the third part, like from the ISVs, and also like you can like it also supports the custom connectors. So it also brings or give the insights of bringing from the data from the other data sources also. So that's why it's just not Microsoft 365 applications. It goes beyond that and make use of the connectors also. And like it is also integrated with Microsoft 365 Copilot. What does it mean is you can ask, you can make use of the search to find some related information. You can find some relevant information. And also what you can do is like it seamlessly integrated with Microsoft 365 Copilot chat. So what it means is you can make use of the Copilot chat to dive deep into that. Like for example, you want to um, uh, more generate more content based on that particular search, or you want to perform some actions or complete some tasks, then you can make use of that. And it also supports a natural language query. So what does it mean is like you can ask like ask questions in your natural language so that it will return the results based on that. And also it generates a response, concise AI generated response powered by Microsoft 365 Copilot chat. That's how the responses would be. And when we talk about the security, it adheres to the existing data protection, the security configurations, privacy standards, like similar to the Microsoft 365 Copilot. Okay. And also, as I mentioned, it is accessible from your desktop, web, and mobile from the Microsoft 365 Copilot app. And it is eligible for all the Copilot 365 license users. And as an administrator, so what do I need to do? So you don't need to do any setup for this particular thing. Okay, so if you have license, then it is automatically available in the Microsoft Copilot app. And we'll also talk a little bit more on this one, like how it is different from our traditional Microsoft 365 search, and also like how it is different from the Microsoft 365 Copilot chat also. Okay. So before that, I'll just quickly go through the portal, and then I can showcase that one, how the search works. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, sorry. I think you're seeing. Sorry. Okay, so if you go to the Microsoft 365 Copilot app, so in the web, I've just gone through it. You can see a search option over here. So when you go to the search, you ask for something, SharePoint migration, something like that. So when you search for that, it will give me all the relevant results. You can see all the relevant results from SharePoint, Outlook Mail, and Teams. And also, it will ask me, like, it will provide me an option for the Copilot chat. Ask Copilot SharePoint migration. So it takes you to the Copilot chat, and you can further like use that Copilot chat for generating any content or summarizing the content or something like that, and then you can make use of that to complete certain activities. Okay, so go back to the presentation. So how it is different from the Copilot chat, right? So I've just like based on the features, I've put this differentiation like between the Copilot search and Copilot chat. So Copilot search again, like it is the best search for when you want to find something, when you want to find something faster, then you can make use of this Copilot search. It's going to retrieve the results from the various sources, like from various Microsoft 365 applications, as well as from the connectors. And the Copilot chat, again, like it is mainly to generate the answers, or if you want to generate summarize the content, or if you want to generate I need to, or if you want to complete any of the tasks, then you will go with the Copilot chat. And interaction style, we know that it's completely a search box which you have seen, and we also have used Copilot chat. It's a chat based, it's a conversational one. Data sources, so Microsoft Graph, so it covers all the Microsoft 365 applications and also the connectors. So that includes the third-party connectors and everything. So when it comes to the Copilot chat, you will have a graph, third-party connectors, including the web also, right? So you have an ability to get the content from the web. Again, you need to configure that from the admin center if you whether you want to allow that web or not. But if you have enabled that, then it will also bring the information from the web also, the public content, public data. And when we talk about the difference between the Copilot search and as well as the Microsoft search, right? So when it comes to the Copilot search, it is a paid version, and whereas the Microsoft search, it is a free one. So when you want to use the Copilot search regarding the licensing, we need the Copilot license, whereas for Microsoft search, you don't need any specific license. And when it comes to the search and experience, you can see here it's an AI powered semantic search, and also you have a modern user experience and everything. And also we see in the data sources that is coming from. When it comes to Microsoft search, it's a keyword based, and you will be able to retrieve the results from the Microsoft apps, basically with the help of Microsoft Graph. So these are some of the differences between the Copilot search and Microsoft search. Again, like for Copilot search, you no need to, as an administrator, you no need to do any changes or configurations when you want to set it up. Again, like you have an ability to add other configurations like bookmarks, acronyms, and everything. So I'll showcase you that one. So if I uh, go back to the admin center. So you will have the search, and definitely you can configure all the acronyms and then the bookmarks. And then if you want to exclude all the URLs, so these things you can configure, but there is no for the basic purpose to use this, like base when you want, when the users want to use it, you just need to ensure that you have the required licenses and no specific configuration is required for the Copilot search to work. Okay. We'll go back to the next one again, which is we have seen this Copilot search. The next one is the scheduled prompts. Okay, so let's talk about what is the scheduled prompts. Okay, so let's take a scenario I'm the program manager, or like you are a program manager, or you're a delivery manager handling multiple projects within an account or within for a customer, particular customer, right? So there will be a lot of conversations, emails, and then documents will be shared for individual projects, right? For individual projects. As a delivery manager or as a program manager, you want to summarize all the all the information from various sources, like chats, from the documents, from the emails. I want to have a executive summary of that, all the things whatever happened in the last 1 week. Okay, so that I can once it's been generated, I can go through that, review it, and then I can use that for my weekly status reports with the leadership team or with the customer, right? So I no need to reach out to the different resources or different places to go through all the chats and the files or documents and the emails to come up with the summary for the weekly status. So what I can do is first time I can generate a I can create a proper prompt which will help me to get the response in a right format on the what exactly it needs to do. Once it has been done, I can schedule that particular prompt so that it will be executed on the based on the schedule that you are setting it up. Like for example, I want this prompt to be executed on weekly basis on a particular day at a particular time. So what happens is it will execute it and it will generate the response. So by this way, you no need to go every week and go save this prompt somewhere and then use that prompt to generate the response and then do all the stuff. It will automatically generate the response, and then you can make use of that for your further weekly updates with the leadership team or the customers and all those things, right? So we'll see that how it exactly works, and then we'll talk about what is required for to enable this at the tenant level, and also like how you can retrieve the scheduled prompts and all those things. Okay, so if I go back to the portal, I'll go back to the Microsoft Copilot chat. I'll go here. Let's go to one of the existing ones so that I can showcase this one. Okay, this is the one. So let's say I want to summarize and generate a weekly status report based on the SharePoint emails, files, chat. Okay, so I have just already mentioned, I think. Okay, emails received via Outlook and Teams. Okay, might be, I'll just put a for this particular week. So once you do that, it's a Copilot is going to generate the response. Once the response has been generated, then what we can do is you will have an option to schedule this particular prompt, and then you can schedule. There are different options available on daily basis, weekly basis, or monthly basis. So let's see here. So it has generated the response, and then you'll have an option, like you have a three dots, so you'll have an option to schedule this prompt. So when you are scheduling this prompt, so it will use the same prompt, and then it will be basically the results will be sent in the Copilot chat. And then like you can set up all these things, like I want to run this on weekly basis on every Monday, and at a specific time period I want to run it. So every day, like every Monday I want to run this on 9 a.m. Starting from today, and then like how many times you want to run this one, like so you can select this one, right? And once you select and save it, it is going to schedule it. So you can see here I have already created two of the schedules like this, and you can see when it will be next run. So it is running on the 13th of September and it will run on 15th of September. I'm not just going to like, so it's been scheduled. Now it's the next run is on 13th of September. So now we'll go to the existing one so that we know how it is getting generated. So what happens is like on Monday, 9 a.m. It is going to run. So you can see here, see if weekly thing. So I think like it has been generated like this. So it will be generating in the same Copilot chat window itself. So you can see multiple times I've executed it. Automatically it has been executed. It have scheduled it for daily basis and it has been executed over here. So you will get the results generated in the chat itself. Again, like I'm not sure if there is any plan for like sending us an email or different options available, but for now I could see only the option that these results are sent to the Copilot chat itself. Okay, so going back to this one, and then the current slide, just give me 1 minute. So what will happen behind the scene, right? Behind the scene, right? Like, so when we are doing this, like, what are the prerequisites? What are the prerequisites for this? And then, like, what is exactly happening when you are scheduling the prompt, right? So the user should have the Microsoft 365 Copilot license. So if the user is having that license, when he creates the like when the first prompt has been scheduled, it will create an environment. It's not for individual user. Whenever the first prompt has been scheduled in the tenant itself, it will create a production environment in Power Platform Admin Center. Okay, so it is named as Microsoft 365. So it automatically provision this particular environment, and it is having its own restrictions. Okay, so again, like this is like only one environment is created per tenant, and also like it is closest to the default region of the Microsoft intra tenant region itself. And let's take a case. If by any chance, like if the administrator has deleted this environment, what will happen is next time when someone is scheduling scheduling a prompt, it will automatically re-provision this particular environment. And also, like it has its own fixed DLP policy. What does it mean is like even though you have the tenant or environment related DLP policies, it will not apply to this particular Microsoft 365 environment. And also, as a user or as an administrator, you will not be able to create or execute or manage any Power Automate flows or apps or connectors with this particular environment. This is mainly dedicated for this particular scheduling the prompts. That's it. Okay, and as an administrator, if you want to turn this off, like you always can go to the cloud policy where you can manage the settings, and then you can disable this option or enable this particular option. Okay, so this is how in the back end. So it creates a environment in the Power Platform, and it's a dedicated environment only for this particular scheduling the prompt of things. Okay. So the next one is let's see some of the settings that are available that you can manage for various Copilot scenarios. I will go back to the admin center. So if you navigate to the settings, you have different options available, different categories available. So user access, data access, Copilot actions and other settings. So for each one, there are different settings available. So we are not going to go through each and every settings, like a clear description is provided over here for what purpose it's been there. So we'll go through like for each category, we'll go through one or two settings and see what is the setting is for, or what you can configure in that, and what is the behavior of that one. Okay, so we'll go through one or two settings in each categories. So if you see, let's take about this. Um, let's go back to here. So like each and everything, we have like a different. There are different categories, and for each one, like there are different settings available. So let's talk about this particular setting. So the pinning the Microsoft 365 Copilot app to the Windows taskbar. So what you can do is like when you go to this particular setting, pin this Microsoft Copilot app to the Windows taskbar, you will have an option to pin it. You will have like an enable or disable kind of thing. So you can see here, you can either pin the Microsoft Copilot app to the taskbar, or you no need to pin. I have not done that, but the recommended option is to pin it. So what will happen once you enable this option? So you will in the Windows taskbar, you will see the Copilot app option, which you can use it. So this is how it looks like. So you will have an option like this. Okay, so for this particular thing, you should have the Intune administrator role, or again like a global administrator role, and at least one active Intune license in the particular tenant. So with this, these are the prerequisites for that. Once you have that as an administrator in the admin center, you can go and enable this option or pin it or not pin it. Do not pin it. And let's see one more setting over here. So this is for the Microsoft 365 Copilot in admin centers. So I'm in the admin center and I have an option for the Copilot, like I see this particular option, and where you can ask questions, or like you can send the prompts to this particular thing about to manage to ask something related to your admin center related activities, right? So you can so either like if you can also disable this option in case if you don't want this option to be shown to the administrators. You have an you can do that configuration over here, allow for all admins or block for all admins, right? So you can also manage the security groups where you can specify where you can allow only a specific list of admins to have this particular option available. So in order to do that, you need to create you need to create a security group called Copilot for Microsoft 365 admin exclude. So if you create that email that security group, then you can add the list of users, administrators. Then for them alone, it will be excluded, and for all the other administrators, you will have this option. Okay, so by this way, like you can come to the admin center, you can configure this particular scenario, whether you want to allow the administrators to use the Copilot chat in the admin center. And when it comes to the data access, again, like there are different things we have covered, like data security and compliance, each and everything like data security, posture management, insider risk management, sensitivity labels, retention policies, communication compliance, audit and discovery. All these topics we have covered in detail with the different scenarios in the previous sessions, like in the prepare your organization for Copilot. In that, we have covered in the part 2 of that. We have covered all these things in detail and also add demos on this one. Okay, so we're not going to cover this one. And also like you can see here, as I mentioned here, it also provides certain shortcuts from here to manage some of the Copilot related settings in the different services. So if you see here, and also ensure that you need to have the respective license. If you want to make any manage or something in the Power Platform, then you need to have the respective license. Same thing if you want to do something in the Teams Admin Center with respect to Copilot, you have to have the proper license for Teams as well as the respective role, and also the Copilot license. Same with Viva also it applies. Okay, so if I go to the Copilot in Power Copilot and Power Admin, it is going to take me to the admin center where I will be able to configure or manage some of the scenarios for Power Platform related things. So you can see here, these are the different things that are available over here with respect to Copilot in the Power Platform. Going back to the Copilot actions. So here we have two more additional settings. One is like a Copilot image generation and also the Copilot team settings. So if you go to the Copilot image generation, okay, I need to refresh, I think. So basically, whether you want to allow the you want to allow the users to generate the image in the Copilot chat and other places, do you want to allow that or not? So that is what this setting is about. So in case if you want to manage, they can generate the images with Copilot or not. If you have certain restrictions or the security requirements, then you can disable this option. Otherwise, like you can allow the Copilot image generation. So if I go back here, I think I've generated some image yesterday. So basically from here, if you want to generate the image or not, then like definitely you can make use of this option to configure to allow or don't allow. In Teams meeting, we'll discuss in the next one. Like before that, I'll go to the other settings. What are the things that are available? So Copilot diagnostic logs. So this is mainly like when you want as an administrator. So in case if any of your users are facing some issues to send the feedback, if they are not able to send the feedback or the diagnostic logs to the Microsoft as an administrator, you can share that information with Microsoft on behalf of those users basically. Right. So that particular things information that logs will contain all your prompt in the generated responses or relevant content samples and additional log files for their troubleshooting purpose. Okay. So again, like you can collect and send logs on behalf of a specific user to Microsoft. When you start this, you will have find different configuration settings available over here. So I need to provide the name. So I'll give my name itself. And then you can select the product account Copilot in that. I'll just select Microsoft 365. So you have different options from where you want to get the logs, right? Like Copilot in Excel, Word, I'll select Microsoft 365 Copilot, and recent conversations, I've just left it as 30. And then you will be able to select like last 1 month. So I'm just selecting last 1 month, and then I'll go to the next one. So it's going to take some time to collect all the data, and then like you can see whether you want to send all the information. So use the current file, or you can choose the diagnostic logs, also specific logs. So you can, if I choose it, like I can choose a specific logs from here. So which one I need to send it. If I want to send only a specific conversation, a specific thing to them, then I can choose it from here. If not, then you can use the current file. It is going to send all those thing information. So you also option that it describes the issue. So it was incorrect or relevant, it was too brief, or it was too general, not specific enough, or like something else. So in case you can send that description to that and description to that, and you can send the diagnostic logs on behalf of the user who is having facing some issues, and if they are unable to send the feedback. Okay, so you can configure this particular setting over here. The next one is Copilot Custom Dictionary. So this is something like when you're working, when you're using the Copilot in Teams, meetings, and events and other places, right? So let's take up Microsoft Teams meetings and this thing. When you have the transcription and when you want to make use of Copilot, so during the meetings, you will might be discussing a lot of things, and you use some specialized terms, right? Each organization have their own terms or acronyms, or like it can be related to your products, it can be related to your project, or it can be related to your department and lot of things. So which might not be common to everyone, and the Copilot will not be able to understand that one. So in that case, what you can do is if you have anything specific terms like that, you can upload those terms over here. So when you click on upload, so you can download a sample template with header only, or you can download a template with headers and sample dictionary info also. So when you open this file, you will see some of the information, how this template looks like. So you can see here, so you can see all this information needs to be provided. So term and how it sounds like, and long form of the term, basically the acronym, and the definition and context. So that when AI is used to generate some a transcript, or it needs to generate some responses based on the transcript, or during the meetings, it will understand better and it will be providing the right information. So that's why you can come and manage those things here. So you can upload the custom dictionary, and then it will be used in your Microsoft Teams meetings and conversations. Okay. And the last one we are going to see is the Copilot in Teams meetings. So how you can manage some of the settings available for the Teams meeting, or the scenarios that are. So it is going to take me to the Teams Admin Center. So let's see what are the Copilot scenarios over here. It's loading actually. Anyhow, let's forget. Okay, it's getting loaded. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. So in Microsoft Teams Admin Center, so you have this option, right? A Copilot. So this settings affects Copilot can be used before or after the after the meeting, or only during the meeting, or not at all, right? So you have different options available: on with save transcript required, on with transcription saved by default, and off. So we'll discuss on these options. You have different options that as an administrator, you can configure this. Let's see what are those options and how it works and all those things. Okay. So this is what I was talking. So when you're having in the Teams meetings and events, so in the events, so you can make use of the Copilot. Copilot, you can make use of the Copilot to where you can ask some prompts, or you can ask something, what has happened, what action has been taken, or what has been discussed, or what decision has been taken. So those things you can make use of Copilot. And also you need to have the participant should have the proper Copilot 365 license, so that they can ask the prompts and everything. Okay, so in order for this one, what I was trying to say is, if you go to the Teams, and let's schedule some meeting over here. I'll showcase the different scenarios over here. So let's open a meeting. That's meeting. So when you go to the meeting options, if you go to the recordings and transcriptions, so you will find some related to this one. Oh, yeah, Copilot and other things. So you can see here, you will have different options as a meeting organizer, or even meeting organizer who is going to schedule this meeting. So you will have all these different options available, which you can set it up. Okay, so only during the meeting, or during and after the meeting, or off. So what happens is, if you select during and after the meeting, transcription must be turned on. Okay, and if you are selecting only during the meeting, if you want to use the Copilot only during the meeting, then transcription is not required. So you can send the prompt, and it is going to respond and everything, and ensure that the participant should have the Copilot license. And if it is off, then the transcription also, if you select off, then the transcription and recording will also be disabled. Okay, so going back to the presentation. So these are the settings that is available when you go to the teams. So you can have these different options, and also when you are scheduling the meeting, you will have a different options available. So let's go in detail about this chart. Okay, so this table, just give me 1 minute. So we have seen this one, right? So in the Teams admin center, we have turned it on. So let's see what is the default option when the event organizer is scheduling the meeting, and also how the behavior would be. Okay. So this is the on. Yeah, again, this is the PowerShell setting value, but when it is turned on, what is the default behavior when the event organizer is scheduling the meeting or event? So it will have only during the meeting. Okay, and the default option will be only during the meeting, and the organizers can change the value to during and after the meeting or turn it off. So when I go to the Teams meeting, so like when I create a new event, by default, this value will be there. And also I will have an option to select these different values. The reason is in the admin center, I have chosen the value as on. So that's why by default, it shows the only during the meeting, and have an ability to change this to either turn it off or during and after the meeting. Okay, and I'll go back here, and if I have selected on with saved transcript required. Okay, so what will happen when the event organizer is scheduling the meeting, right? So the default value in the meeting options is during and after the meeting, and this is enforced. Organizers cannot change this value. Okay, and also when it is the other option on with transcript save by default, the default value will be when the organizer is scheduling the meeting, the default value will be again during and after the meeting, but the organizers can change this value to only during the meeting, and they can choose also off. And if it is disabled, which means that if it is turned off, then you will not, the default value in the meeting options is off. Still, the organizers can change the value to only during the meeting or during and after the meeting. Okay, so these are the various options available, and even like the admin center, in admin center you can manage that, and so that's how like you have seen the various behaviors also when you are scheduling the particular event. Okay, so So, so these are some of the again like like when you're watching this video in this session. So I've covered as much I can, but there are other various settings also. We didn't go through that in detail, but also we need to keep that in mind. Like there are these changes are happening very frequently in the admin centers. Okay, so so again like when you're looking this one after 1 week, might be, there can be new additional changes might be there, so keep that in mind. So always go to the admin center, view all the details over there because the changes are keep happening in the admin center. Okay. So I'll stop here. So again, like it's not like completely giving you everything in detail, but at least I try to cover all the options available. So as an administrator, you can manage all the configurations or the settings for various Copilot scenarios from the Copilot control system. And also like it also provides you the shortcuts to different admin centers where you can manage some of the configurations like we have seen Power Platform, Teams Admin Center, or even it goes to the Viva. And the important thing is you should have the required license, and also you should have the correct roles in order to view all the configurations or settings to manage those scenarios. Okay, so with that, any questions?